Alright, what's up guys, this is Dom, and we're here with the WPL Season 7 Draft Analysis. So let's get right into it. My first pick, I got Mega Gallade. Mega Gallade, I feel, is a really strong Pokemon. It's a Pokemon I wanted to use for a while, but I never really found a draft to really pick it in. I love that it has 165 attack and 110 speed. That speed tier is really good for draft, and it's just going to put in a lot of work. It has a lot of coverage moves. It can hit fairy types, gets access to knockoff. And also set up with sword stance. Even though it can't increase its speed, it's still going to be a very powerful Pokemon, and I think it's going to do a lot of really cool things this season. So my second pick, I actually got Azumarill. Azumarill is another Pokemon I like a lot. It's just a really threatening Pokemon overall. It's just like every team's going to have to really be afraid of the belly drum, and even without belly drum, like its huge power priority is just going to do a lot of damage. And Water Fairy is a very extremely good typing. It's a lot of things effectively and has a lot of resistances as well. So this is going to be a huge threat to a lot of teams, and I'm very excited to use it. For my third pick, I got Zapdos. This is another Pokemon I think is a little underrated. It's one of my 3 Z captains. It's actually the only Z of the 3 Z captains that can use non-attacking Z moves. And it gets a lot of coverage as well. It can also be really bulky, deceptively bulky as well. Gets access to Defog. Does a lot of really cool stuff. It has access to Heat Wave and Extra Sensory, and has a lot of really cool coverage. Can also set up with Agility, and and so I'm gonna try to get a Zapdos sweep, because that's one of my goals. Because I really love Zapdos, and it's a really cool Pokemon to use, and it's probably one of my favorite Pokemon to use in draft format. Next up, we do have the Nidoqueen. It gets a really, like, everybody should know what Nidoqueen does. It gets a lot of really insane coverage. And it really doesn't really need explaining. I really like Nidoqueen. It's actually my first Stealth Rock setter, so I definitely want to make sure I get more Hazard setters, so I'm not forced to run Stealth Rocks on Nidoqueen every week. So it's also a really good Fairy Breaker too, which is something that would really help out my Mega Gallade as well. So that's it for Nidoqueen. Next up, we have another Queen. We got Serena. This is another Pokemon I really wanted to try to use, but it usually goes really fast in drafts because, you know, it has access to U-turn, Rapid Spin. It's 120 attack, which is really cool. I've seen a lot of people use like a lot of cool sets, like a Scarf set, like not just the bulky Rapid Spinning set. So this is a Pokemon I'm definitely gonna have a lot of fun with. So and Queenly Majesty negating opposing team's priority is really cool as well. So and it's also a grass type too, which is really nice because resist 1,000 arrows is definitely needed in today's draft format because Zygarde is a threat. Next up, we got Ditto. I'm sure you guys are aware, I really like drafting Ditto. It's a really good Pokemon. It's a really good low tier pick, and everybody knows what Ditto does. It's a threat, and it's definitely something you have to prepare for, and it's a low tier pick. So I think that's really good. Next up, we got Latios. I'm surprised this fell to me. Even though it is a tier 1 and it's not as good as Latios, but I still really like it. It's actually my second Z captain, which is really cool. So, and it gets a lot of really cool moves like Healing Wish, Defog. It can also count Mind Sweep. I really like that its Spadef is really high too. It adds a lot of bulk to my team, even though it can be offensive as well, even though it's not as good offensively as Latios, like I said before. But I definitely think I can make it work, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. Next up, we do have Steelix. I didn't have a Steel type, and I really wanted a Steel type, so I got pretty much the last Steel type available. I originally wanted Metagross, but actually went in the 3rd round, so I'm very surprised that happened. That I've never seen regular Metagross go into the 3rd round. I really loved using that in ICBA Season 2, so I wanted to draft it again, but unfortunately it did get sniped from me, so I just decided to go with my next pick, which would be Steelix. I love that it's not passive. Even though its attack is 85, it does get access to high base power moves such as Earthquake and Heavy Slam, depending on the Pokemon and Stone Edge. It also has the ability Sheer Force too, even though it can't really utilize Sheer Force as well as other Pokemon. It still gets things like Iron Head, which do surprisingly a little more damage than Earthquake. So hopefully Steelix can do some work, and I'm a big fan of Steelix, and it's gonna do a lot of work. So that's it for the Steelix. And this Pokemon was actually tier 2 this draft, and I'm surprised it lasted this long. This Pokemon is honestly fantastic. Even though it's my 3rd base 110 speed tier, it's okay. I don't mind that because it's just really fast in general. My team overall is pretty fast, so I definitely wanted to add more power. This is my 3rd and final Z captain. This thing just hits really hard, and a lot of teams don't have a ghost resist, so that's going to be a thing I can definitely take advantage of. And it also gets access to fairy coverage, which does hit those dark types, which is most likely their resist to to ghost. So I think Ghost Stab is definitely underrated because of how powerful it is, and it could also have a Focus Blast too with a Fightinium Z for a bulky normal type like Snorlax, even though I don't think that knows at all. Snorlax could be a problem for this, but I definitely think things like Mega Gallade and Azumarill can break Snorlax too. So I definitely think on this team it's going to put in a lot of work. For my second to last pick, I got I got Excelgor. This is another Pokemon I really wanted to try out. It gives me the ability to Hazard Stag with my other Hazard Setters, such as Steelix and Nidoqueen. So the ability to have Toxic Spikes and Spikes definitely give my team an advantage, because there's something else they have to prepare for. They have to bring Hazard Removal, otherwise they could just get blown back by being Hazard Stag. So that's another really cool thing that makes my opponent worry. It's also Elite Speed tier, and 145 is insane for just a regular low tier pick. I think this is tier 4. I checked this out of, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is tier 4. So this thing being really fast and can put in a deceptively good amount of damage with Bug Buzz and Focus Blast. So like a Life Orb set could definitely put in some work too late game. So hopefully I get some fun with Excelgor, and I'm excited to try it out. My last Pokemon I picked is regular Kangaskhan. Regular Kangaskhan gives my team Wish support, which I didn't really have before. I don't really have that much recovery in this team, but that's okay because it's an offensive team. So it's up. This thing's bulk is going to be really helpful too, even though it is a tier 5 pick. I think it's going to put in a lot of really cool work. So, and it also gets a lot of really cool coverage. It gets things like Circle Throw, which phase teams out. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this draft analysis. It was nice, short, and concise. And I'll see you guys next time.